As I come to the close of my first 9 months as an executive director, I am filled with gratitude and filled with excitement about the possibilities for power. Here are just some of our achievements over these first 9 months. Power and its coalition partner, the SEIU, secured a victory at the airport for 1,400 workers as they secured the right to have a union and developed a framework for a contract, their first contract that will become a model for the entire nation. Power also, with our many coalition partners, secured a victory in the election of a district attorney who shares our values against stop and frisk, ending mass incarceration, for police accountability, and no cash bail. I'm excited that in that work that Power, through the PICO Action Fund, had over 100,000 calls and 16,000 live conversations with Philadelphians all across the city. And 75% of them, after they talked to us, said they would vote in that election. And so we've done some great things together this year, including supporting 5 major marches, where over 30,000 people marched in those marches to stand up against injustice, to stand up against the immigration wall, to stand up against the Muslim ban, to stand up against and stand up for economic opportunity and education opportunity for all. Further, we were influential in leading this incredible resistance movement that has occurred in the city of Philadelphia through our 100 days of faithful resistance, where we trained people, educated people, and developed movement strategy to really change and transform our city and eventually our state as well. Further, our Power and its allies had the largest education action we had in Harrisburg to really demand an end to education apartheid, to stand up for the end to racial disparity in our education funding. And Senator Eichelberger, in response to that, mandated that we have a public hearing to be able to talk about those issues and lift those issues up further so that we can get real change in Harrisburg. Power also, through expanded into Lancaster and to Lebanon and to York and Dauphin counties, as we reached out to new people to be able to lift up our issues of education and healthcare, to really change and transform and build real power throughout the state as we begin our organizing efforts in those areas. Further, Power and its green job partner, Equate, demanded a change in PICO through our 100-mile walk for green jobs, where we lifted up hundreds of marchers walked to PICO demanding 20% solar by 2025. As a part of that work in green jobs, we further issued the first Black Work Matters Green Job Report that showed the intersection between race and climate change. And that report showed that we could reduce poverty by 20% with an increase of 15,000 new jobs over the next 10 years. And so Power, through its work and its continual work throughout the state, helped push back against attacks against the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid and Medicare. And because our work in this state and around the city of Philadelphia and others across the nation, we are able to push back against that attack and secure that the Affordable Care Act still remains the law of the land. And so these are just some of our accomplishments in the first 9 months, but there's so much more we can do together. There is so much more. Right now, our strategy teams are planning out our next year-long strategy, and there are going to be victories through that strategy, those strategies that we'll be able to do next year. And further, I and the board of directors will be planning our 5-year strategy that will build power throughout the state of Pennsylvania so that we can make real change in Philadelphia, real change in Harrisburg, real change across the state. So I thank you for all of that you have done and all the efforts you have done to make Power this viable organization, and stand with us and continue to stand with us as we move forward together, as Power continues to build a city and communities of opportunity that work for all. Thank you again. See you in the fall. Let's work together.